Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a review on this roborock Q7 Max Plus robot vacuum cleaner. Now I was given this vacuum cleaner to me free by Roborocks. This vacuum cleaner does retail for $869. They do have a $250 coupon on Amazon, which brings it down to around $620. Now this video is just going to be a review. I have a setup, so there is a little bit of setup to this. You've got to connect it to your phone, download the app, hook up the Wi-Fi, and kind of put the base unit together. So be sure and check out that video where I explain all of that. So this robot vacuum will vacuum and mop your floors. Now I've been using it for about a month. I really do like it. I think it's got really good suction and it does mop the floors very nice. Okay, so the base unit where it docks should be mounted on like hardwood floors or linoleum or something. You cannot put this on carpet because when you install the mopping attachment, it has to travel from the base unit to where you want it to mop. Okay, so this is the mopping attachment it comes with. You can take this off and clean this. You can throw this in the washing machine. It's got a little track that it slides in, very easy. That's where the water is going to come out. So when you want to install it, it's very easy. You're just going to slide it on and it's going to click into place. When you want to and it's got voice commands, it's going to tell you that it's installed. When you want to take it off, there's two little release tabs. It's one of the easiest mop attachments to remove and install. So on the robot vacuum itself, we can lift this up. This is the container that's going to hold the liquid. It's got, there's the filter that you're going to have to replace once in a while. So when it vacuums, it's going to fill this chamber up in here, and then when it docks itself, it's going to suck everything out into a bag. There is a little blue light here to show you that the Wi-Fi is connected, and it's very easy to just put back in.
And water tank combo unit installed.
So the unit's always going to dock itself like this. There's a power button here. If you press and hold that, that will turn the power off, but if you just do a single quick press, that tells it to go start cleaning everywhere. We have a return to dock, so say it's cleaning in your room and you want it to go back to your dock. There is a dock button, there's a child lock button on the left, and there's also a spot, that's also for spot cleaning. Okay, so the base unit's very easy. You got this cover to remove. This is the bag that's going to hold everything that gets sucked out of here. It's very easy to change. You're just going to, first thing you'll do is lift this up first. That closes the opening for the bag, and then the bag comes out. So there we can see, once in a while we do have to kind of wipe that off or use a vacuum cleaner. Okay, so when you want to put a new bag in, make sure the opening is open like that. Now this is obviously a used bag, but you're going to slide it into this track. There's a track right there you got to slide it into, right like that. And after the bag's all installed, just make sure that lever right there is down. And the cover, it simply just sits on here, like that. Okay, so here's the docking station. Here's where it's going to charge the robot vacuum. Here's where it's going to suck everything out. Okay, so here's the bottom of the vacuum cleaner. Now this is the roller that's going to pick up the debris. This is where it's going to suck, but it also empties out the vacuum cleaner through this area right here also. And this moves up and down. You can see it's got a brusher here, roller brush here also. It's got a steering wheel. These are your wheels right here. This is where the water solution is going to come out, these little ports right here. Because when we install the mop head, that lines up with those ports. Okay, so some things to be careful with. This cover, make sure this cover, there's these 4 tabs, make sure those 4 tabs are installed correctly. It can be a little tricky. If you don't have this cover installed, it's not going to suck everything out of the vacuum cleaner properly. I did have that problem. I didn't have this installed correctly. So when you push it down, it should snap and it should be nice and even. This should move freely. So we can also take a closer look. There's the roller itself. Now the roller itself does a good job there. It does get some hair around this side part here. We can take this out, pull this out, and I do get some hair there once in a while. Okay, so then to line up the roller, just put it back in. And again, take this, put those 4 tabs in first, and this should snap down. And then I always give it the pull test. Make sure it's got nice and free. What happens if it's not installed correctly, it has to be sucked down onto this seal so that it can suck everything out of the vacuum cleaner. Now getting back to the dustbin collector, there is a little stopper here. This is where you're going to put the water in. Now they recommend just using plain water, but you can put solution, but it's got to be diluted really high. So this is the cleaning solution that I use. They want 1 part of this to 300 parts of water. So again, and that's the same mixture ratio that it shows on the back. So you're just not going to use, they don't want a whole lot of solution in that water tank. Now, one of the nicest features about this robot vacuum is the map. I really do like its map. It also tells you exactly where it cleaned. By the little white lines, that's exactly where the robot vacuum went. And you can see in real time so when it is cleaning, you can see exactly where it's at. And I thought, so when you first set it up, you have to map your house. It was extremely fast and extremely accurate. But you do have to go in and edit the map. It's very important to add no-go zones. It's also important to add no mop zones. So in my kitchen is linoleum, but I do have some rugs by the front door. By every door, I've got a little rug. Now, it does struggle with rugs. When that mopping attachment is attached to the robot vacuum, it does kind of struggle with rugs. But so put a no mop zone wherever your rugs are at, and it'll do just fine. And I can start and stop the robot vacuum. I can hit clean. I can select certain rooms. I can do certain zones that I want to just clean. And I can also do it to that, and it'll self-empty the base. I can go in and create schedules. So another nice thing is I can create a schedule for each room. I can say clean the kitchen at 8 o'clock in the morning, clean the dining room at 7 o'clock at night. So you can create a schedule for each room. And you can vary how much liquid it puts down for each room and the suction power for each room. Now, I usually use the 2D map, but it does have 3D map, and that's pretty cool. It's pretty accurate. Now, the matrix map, that's really neat. You got to use your phone. You got to walk through your house. It's going to point your camera, and it's going to come up with a really neat design of your house. It takes a little bit of work and a little bit of time to do that, but it is pretty cool. That's what this little button right here is for. That's to customize for each room. You can tell it what you want to do. If you want to just mop that room, vacuum, or how high the vacuum is supposed to be. And then there's several different settings you can go in. There's where you do the schedules. We can change the auto empty. I've got it on max. I want it to always suck it out as maximum as possible. We can change the robot voice. We can turn the voice off. We got a remote control, cleaning history. Maintenance is kind of neat. It's going to let you know when the main brush needs changed, when the filter needs changed. So it's going to send you a notification. That's kind of nice. It also has the user manual. It's got firmware updates. Okay, so let's go clean a room. Let's clean carpet first, then we're going to do linoleum. I can select how many passes I want it to do. I can go all the way up to 3 passes, but I'm just going to do 1 pass. Okay, so since the room I'm going to tell it to go clean is only carpet, I've got the mop head off. I've got the room selected, and I'm just going to hit the clean button.
Starting selective room cleaning.
It's going to undock itself, and it's going to go find that room and start cleaning it. So there's the room it's going to start cleaning. Now it's going to divide the room into zones. It doesn't clean the room all at once, like go back and forth. It's going to divide it into multiple zones and clean those individual zones. Okay, so the first thing it's going to do, it's going to go around your room that you've selected, and it's going to clean the edges first. So it's going to go around the entire room and clean the sides. And it's going to put the bristle, so it's got that one bristle that's turning, it's going to put that closest to the wall, so that kind of sweeps things out from the wall. So it does really good with furniture. It doesn't bump into the furniture really, really hard. Okay, so now it's going to divide the room into certain zones and clean each zone. It will eventually clean the entire room, but it's going to divide it into zones first. Okay, so let's see how it does with some dog hair. Okay, it looks like it picked up that dog hair. Okay, so let's say you have a dog toy or something that was left on the floor. It is avoiding the dog toy. And so the app, I can see exactly real time where the robot is. See how it went around that it avoided that obstacle. And it shows me exactly where it came from the dock. That's a really nice feature. Okay, so when it's done cleaning the room, it's going to come over and dock itself and empty itself out. It does a really good job of finding the dock. I've not had any problems with it finding the dock or docking itself. Now I lifted this up just for demonstration purposes. I want you to see that it's going to vacuum out.
Target. Emptying dustbin.
So it's emptying it all out into that bag. Now it is kind of loud when it's emptying it. Again, I'm just going to open it. It's done emptying it out. I just want to show you that it does.
Dustbin and water tank combo unit.
It does a good job of emptying it out. Okay, so let's do some mopping. Again, this is really simple to install. You're just going to slide it underneath here, and it's going to click into place.
Mop mount installed.
Okay, so now I've got the mop attachment installed. Again, make sure your water tank is full, and now it's going to start mopping. So it does vacuum and mop at the same time. So it's going to vacuum the area first in front of it, and it's going to be putting down some solution right behind it when it vacuums. Now again, it's going to go around the entire room, do the edges first, and it's going to use that sweeper against the edges, and then it's going to divide the room and conquer it. Okay, so I put some coffee grounds on the floor. It looks like it did a good job getting the coffee grounds off. And it's mopping at the same time. Okay, so I've got on the maximum amount of water that it puts down. I do recommend when you're doing mopping to have it do more than one pass. Now this will dry pretty quick, but I do have it on the maximum amount that it can put down. And this is the second time that it's going over this area right here. Okay, so again, say you get tired of it cleaning, just come over here, hit the dock button.
Returning to dock.
And so even with the mop head attachment attached, it's going to come over here and it's going to empty itself out. And again, here's what the map looks like. You can see it made all those passes. Okay, so let's take the mop head attachment off. Very easy. Press these two side buttons.
Mop mount removed.
It comes off. Again, if we want to clean this, it is. Now they do recommend to kind of dampen this before you put it on there, so it does help with the water flow because the water flow is going to come through these holes. Take it off. And again, we can just throw that in the washing machine and be ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to cut my bag open here, and we're going to see how much it's been collecting. I do think it does a good job of vacuuming. Come over here, lift this lever again. Take this over. Now you can just throw this away, but I'm going to open it up and see how much is inside. Okay, so let's cut it open. I think it did a really good. Now this thing will hold a lot of dirt and debris. Yeah, so you can see it's picked up a lot of dog hair, a lot of fine particles. There's even some big chunks in there. So again, this thing has been doing a really good job of cleaning my house. You can see the bag's kind of like a double wall. So I'm very happy with this robot vacuum cleaner. I do think it does a good job of cleaning and mopping. If you put the no-go zones and the no-mop zones, it really helps out. I think it's got a really good app. The mapping is really nice. I like that it has real time, shows you where it is on the map, and shows you where it's cleaned on the map. So when the base unit empties out the vacuum cleaner, it is a little bit loud. So I will be doing a comparison with the iRobot Roomba J7 Plus that has a mopping head and self-emptying base. Now the best thing you can do with this robot vacuum cleaner is put it on a schedule, because I don't remember to always hit the clean button, but when I got it on the schedule, it just does a really good job of making sure all the rooms are nice and clean. If you could hit the thumbs up button, I'd really appreciate it. If you hit the subscribe button, I'll be doing other robot vacuum cleaners and regular vacuum cleaners. And I also do coffee maker reviews. So I really appreciate everybody's support. And if you could, please like and subscribe.